So, previously on D&D, you guys, Blades of Drrust, in your quest for all these vestiges so you can defeat the Shadow King, collected the harp, the Olam harp from the water plane, and very sneakily teleported away before Laju the Married could enact his revenge. You then returned to Waterdeep / Neverwinter for a bit, caught up on some things that need catching up on, and prepared for the Council of the Lord's Alliance, which will be happening today. We'll say you wake up bright and early in the morning. We'll say Tristan sleeps in like a little bit, but not so much that he misses it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking
Can
about.
Reed give us a hero's feast?
Yeah, we'll say Reed could have given you a hero's feast. I guess if anyone wants to roll 2d10.
I'll do it.
Oh, Gordon, Reed!
Oh,
Reed, you sound a bit different today.
oh, Reed, why are you so good all of a sudden? You're not
16.
beamsing anything.
Reed, you're not chatting shit. What the fuck?
Well, we had
Depressed today, so he's going to be a bit quiet.
So I did try and think of a way of like writing him out of today's session, but it just doesn't make any sense that he wouldn't go to the council. So I guess he will go, but he'll just be
He
quiet for
has
some
a
reason.
sudden trip to Scatterak with Rogar.
That's what I was gonna do, like something like that.
I mean,
gets
to be
arrested
fair,
for
he actually
tax
would
evasion.
do that though.
like
I mean, he
I
actually would do that though.
I don't know. I don't think he'd miss the council. I think it's one of those. You got to be there. We'd say he's just got a bad voice that day.
he's picked up a bit of a cold
He's
from the
ill.
water dimension.
Yeah, and for some reason, no magical healing will heal it.
Yeah.
One of the conditions for being invited is that Reed has to have a silence spell cast on him.
Makes
Nice.
sense.
hmm
Oh man, I need to reread
so I
the
guess
speech. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing else you guys would want to do?
I
Pretty
don't.
good.
I think we did like all the shopping and stuff before this, didn't we? Like
Should have
everyone.
done.
Can
Yeah,
I
'cause-
check for more speed potions?
Go on then, but you have to roll really high.
Yay! Just a D100?
Yarp.
Oh,
Nah, not good enough.
oh.
That's not good enough.
Can I re-roll with inspiration?
No. Any
Daylight
short
reroll.
inspiration? No.
No.
Right, hang on. I'm doing a little bit of editing because I realised how shit it sounded from last time.
Sure. Well, Dayla saying, have a conversation while Tristan's doing this thing.
Do you want to
You wanna
go
go
to
spoons?
the... Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I heard there's another good pub around the corner. City Arms or something like that?
You guys live in a pub.
Yeah, but
Yeah, this
there's
one's
another
awful.
one that offers... It's got beef madras.
Oh,
You
but
guys can offer that.
I heard they get mages to just quickly heat it up with some fires. So
Exactly, it's like super quick. And the drinks
you
are like
guys-
really cheap.
You guys should definitely sell Troll Skull Tavern and turn it into a Weatherspoons.
franchise it.
For the Spoons franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good plan. We should pitch that to Reed when his voice is better.
I think Reed will be on board.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
sorry
think so.
guys. My voice is just not feeling it today. I'm just gonna have to leave most of the talking to yous.
This is most unusual.
Yeah, I'm not used to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Fergus were up late last night. We were doing karaoke.
Oh, is that what they call dick? That's what they call sucking dick, though. Oh.
You guys head over to Castle Waterdeep, and there you see lots of various delegates and people in fine garb ready for the council.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're there, just sort of milling about?
Fuck! I didn't bring my crown.
Just sort of mill about.
Fuck, you did bring your crown.
Roger,
Yeah.
need the crown, quick!
Oh yeah,
What's Roger
I'm
having?
going. No, but I can teleport there.
Everyone just
I'll
looks
grab
at
it.
Tristan enter, and then he's like, "Fuck!"
Alright,
Do that
Rogar
awkward
tele-
bit where you have to check your pockets to be like, oh no, I forgot something, and then
Rogar
teleport
teleports away. Yeah. So in the meantime, we'll say Lyra will wander over to you. Say, King Tristan. Or, yes, King Tristan Alagondar, that's the one. How are you?
Well, you know, not too bad. We've just come back from the plane of water, you see, so...
A successful venture?
Yes, just two vestiges left to get, but I'll fill that in with the council. We're on track. So...
Reed will speak up and say, yeah, I'm just going to speak with my harp today. And he'll, like, do a little ditty on the harp. Just say, well, don't do it too much. But, yes, I'll introduce you to a number of the people we have here. As you can see, there are quite a few people who have gathered for this council. I hope you have your speech prepared.
I do, yes. It won't be long, not to worry, but I think I've got the gist of things.
Yes, as long as it catches everybody up to speed on all the things they need to know.
Yeah.
It should be enough. So, going around the various different peoples, of course you know the Open Lord Lyra. I'm not going to do it in her voice, but she will generally gesture to various different peoples around the room. So, the first person she will gesture to is Lord Agrathan Hardhammer, a cleric with a holy symbol showing a mountain silhouette with a gemstone, with a central gemstone. I'll say make a religion check.
Oh, God. Tristan, the most irreligious paladin.
Is that all of us, or?
Yeah, I'll say all of you. Daylight, you would actually almost certainly know this, because it was one of the religions that was in the Dwarven trial when you escaped from Thurngorn, and so you recognize it as the symbol of Doomathoin.
Doomathoin.
I
remember that.
totally remember this.
Yes, basically the Dwarven god of mining. You see, this is a soft-featured for a dwarf with a long white beard and a pristine white and gold robes. Moving along.
Black and blue.
Oh no! In the sunlight, his robes are black and blue.
I don't get this.
Really?
Okay.
Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind.
Margaret doesn't know what the internet is, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is true.
Moving along, you are introduced to. You should probably be writing some of these names down, but it's not too big a deal.
Right, hang on. Let me just get my character sheet out. Right, let's go.
Yes. The last one was Lord Agrathan Hardhammer of Mirabar.
So, hang on. Council members. Lord Agrathan?
Agrathan.
Hardhammer.
How do you spell that?
Don't worry too much.
Okay.
Just however
Spell
you
it as it
think.
sounds.
Hardhammer.
Yeah,
got it.
As it sounds.
Okay, got it.
The next one is High Mage Tern Hornblade of Silvery Moon.
High Mage.
You see a tall and grey-bearded man. He is human with sort of a thick head of hair, navy blue robes, and an expression appearing grave and thoughtful. Moving along to the next person, you see a familiar face. Grand Duke Alder Ravengard. Grandest of dukes on the Council of Four. So he has, short hair, a few battle scars, and you guys know the Grand Duke. You saved his life.
Is he the guy from Elturel?
Yeah, the one who almost got killed in the opera house, where I got
of course he's not actually.
I remembered that.
He's not actually from Elturel. He's from Baldur's Gate, but he was in Elturel at the time.
I'll give him a recognizing nod.
Yes, he will give you a nod back. But moving along to next person, you are then introduced to Duchess Morwen Daggerford, who Reed sort of hides behind your leg at the mention of her. She is a tall, stern-faced woman in her 30s, outfitted in dark armor, beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. Moving along, you are introduced to the next person, Lord Dowell Harple of Longsaddle. While you have not actually met this person yourself, Tristan, you did send aid to Longsaddle recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Sorry.
He is a
Lord
Dowell Harple. He is a thick-bearded man in his 40s, clad in grey robes.
Yep.
Moving along to the next person. You are introduced to Queen Dagnabit Waybeard. She is young for a dwarf, with sort of fiery red hair and tattoos marking her face.
Queen Waybeard.
Dag
Yes.
nabbit.
Yeah, literally that's the name. Dagnabit. Which was stupid, I thought, but there you go. These are all in law. These are all law people. This is the law.
Queen Dagnabbit Waybeard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next person you are introduced to is Lord Dorna Ilzama of Amphale. Yeah, you briefly spent a little bit of time in Amphale right at the start of the campaign. It was where you were first ambushed by a bunch of bandits in a tavern.
Oh, is that the one where I one-shot the boss?
It was indeed. So you don't know too much about Amphale, but yeah, see, this guy Dorna is a tall, slender man in his 60s with slick back grey hair and fine dark robes designed for riding.
Sorry, did you say he's a slender man?
He is a slender man. Lastly, we'll come to Water Baron Nestra Ruthiol of Yartar. She's a woman in her 30s.
Water Baron.
Of a where now?
What?
Water Baron Nestra Ruthiol of Yartar.
Yartar?
I'll take you to the main map if you want to just see where Yartar is. Oh, or any of these places for that matter, really.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes, here's the map. Here's the main map. Yartar is here. So you guys would have passed through Yartar on your way to Silvery Moon, way back in day. Yeah,
I've
I
not
can
seen
get
the
rid
main
of
map since Michael did this.
Yeah.
I think I just got rid of it, but for some reason it's put it all back. Going back to the thing though, you have Water Baron Nestra Ruthiol, a woman in her 30s clad in leather armor with a red bandana on her head.
Okay.
So these are the members of the Lord's Alliance, the official members that are sort of representing each of the cities that are within the alliance. But Lyril will then say there are also a few others joining us, not on the Lord's Alliance Council. Well, two others really. The first she will mention is another familiar face. You see the familiar one-eyed drow dressed in a purple coat and matching wide-brimmed hat of Jarlaxle Baenry, High Captain of Luskan.
Did he only have one eye?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
okay.
only having one on.
Yep. Okay.
May not have mentioned that before, but yeah, he has an eye patch.
I probably
We're
just
so
forgot, to be
inclusive
honest.
that we didn't notice it.
Yeah. You just don't know his eye patches.
Yep.
And lastly, you are introduced to the familiar golden-furred Leonin, clad in the golden armor of the Order of the Golden Lion, Sir Rylan.
Figured he'd be here, yeah.
Representing El Terrell. Luskan and El Terrell, of course, while they're not on the Lord's Alliance, both of their cities have been affected by this whole Shadow King threat, and thus they've been summoned.
Yeah.
Lastly, you are introduced to an adventurer who you've not seen before. He's by the name of Daramis Tanner. He is an Air Genasi, dressed in lightweight armor with a silver spear slung across his back. Blyril will explain. He is an adventurer from Baldur's Gate who has slain 3 of these Death Knights with his own spear, and
Wow.
he was present at the New Year's massacre. I believe his spear is a vestige, like one of your like the things you are searching for, and he too is fairly knowledgeable on these Death Knights.
Excellent. Good to meet you.
With everybody present, you are eventually taken through into the council chamber. Boom.
There's a random river.
Wait, there's an even smaller map here. Hang on.
Oh god.
Oh god.
No.
Oh, I can't get
Don't know
big
how you're
enough.
going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Don't be
impossible.
drawing on this one.
Can't zoom in enough.
Alright then.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
have it.
You can literally
That's
see
direction,
everybody
though.
here. Yep, you can see Dagnabit is here.
That better be their catchphrase.
Dang nabbit. Literally the most powerful room in the world at the minute.
Hmm.
What makes this room so powerful?
Everyone in it, because we're here.
The size of this map.
I just imagine Sang just pulling out crayons and just drawing on the map.
Oh yeah, we'll say just before you go into the room as well. Rogar returns and is like, "Here you go, Tristan. Got you the crown."
Oh yeah, I'll put it on.
Yeah. And you then all head in.
Yeah.
Lyra will greet the table, say, "Thank you all for coming." What? What?
For some reason, I just thought that she just says like, "Hello to the table."
What? Michael, are you high?
What?
Like the
Michael's-
physical table, and not the
Why would you
people.
think that?
Michael's been taking some psychedelics today, guys. I don't know what's going on with him.
Classic Michael. He's doing them all the time.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, Lyra will address the people at the table. And say, "Greetings, all of you. Thank you all for coming. As you know, this Shadow King threat is coming up soon. We have about 20 days before his full return. It is with this in mind that I've summoned you all here to discuss how we might prepare for this coming threat, as he is a threat to everyone here on the Sword Coast. I'll begin by introducing you all to King Tristan Alagondar. Some of you have met, some of you have not. But he and his party, the Blades of Drrust, have been at the forefront of tackling the Shadow King issue, collecting vestiges and other things. But I'll let him explain it better himself.
I'll give her a nod. Thank you, Lady Lyral, for the introduction. And I'll look around the table and be like, my companions and I have been at the heart of this forthcoming conflict from the very beginning. So as you are fully aware, this foe that we face seeks to completely cover our lands in darkness and rule over everyone as an undead overlord. In order for us to fully defeat him, we, as a party, had to slay 5 dragons along the Sword Coast, including Hundar the Red Rage. Now, all of these dragons have fallen to us. A few of them were behind the attacks upon a lot of our settlements. For example, in my own city of of Neverwinter, the blue dragon, Alophanar, was behind the corruption and perversion of the city's rulership, and had been secretly siphoning off its funding to his own stash. Hundar also launched an attack upon Neverwinter after the fall of Alophanar. The Black Dragon Malistar Rex corrupted and led the lizard folk of the north into attacking what's it called? Longsaddle.
Yep.
And down south, the Green Dragon also was behind attacks on Elturel and Borskaya Bridge. Now, all of these dragons have been dealt with. They've all been slain. Now, in each of their hordes, we recovered from them a shard of the Shadow King's pocket dimension, where we believe his phylactery, as he is a lich, is contained. So in order for us to fully be able to defeat him, we had to assemble this pocket dimension. All of these shards have been gathered. They are in safekeeping and ready to be used as soon as me and my party have gathered enough vestiges of old Neferil, of which we only have 2 left to be found. One of which is currently in the process under my colleague Ulfgar, who's not here, but he's currently in Yizgard, earning his vestige. So whilst I and the Blades of Drrust finish fighting these vestiges in order to fully defeat the Shadow King, the rest of the Sword Coast must be fully prepared in order to combat his forces here. We've all already encountered his most vicious of lieutenants, the Death Knights, and I'll look at the Air Genasi and I'll give him a nod and be like, we've all fought them, we all know what they're capable of, and they are not to be underestimated. Me and my party did actually find their original base whilst they were still alive, and they are a corrupted group of paladins who have fallen to the darkness and must be put down permanently as well in order for us to be fully secure from this threat. I'll take a brief breath and just look around the table. With
We'll say at this point, as you sort of take a breath, one of them will ask, "What are these vestiges you've gathered? Can we see them? What is their purpose?"
So I'll like gesture to the others along with the table.
I'll put my hood up
Yes.
and take it down again.
We'll say this was Lord Dorna Ilzima of Amphale.
Each of these vestiges is is it the first age?
So it's from Netheril, which is sort of from like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
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 a long
So
time ago. They don't really have like ages, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember what's so special about them that we used them to kill him. Just like because that's when he was
Basically,
originally.
He's from that era.
Yeah, he's originally
where
from that era.
magic
Yeah.
was, and magic was way more powerful back then. I'll say you guys would know enough to know that basically, during that era, magic was so powerful that it brought the Netherese Empire crashing down. And it was after then that Mystra, the goddess of magic, basically put a ban on spells above ninth level. Spells used to go up to 12th level back then, but she was like, "No, those are too powerful. They're gonna destroy entire civilizations. We gotta bring it down a bit."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
so that's why you're collecting these vestiges, because they are from an era when magic was way more powerful.
yeah. And I'll say these are all of them are just like the harp, what everyone else has got.
Yeah.
Um,
We don't whack out the harp.
I've got the
Ulfgar.
ring.
My comrade Ulfgar is seeking a vestige called the Hammer of the Thunderbolts, and I myself we have to venture into the abyss to find the Holy Avenger of Torm.
Lord Agritham will speak up then and say, "The Holy Avenger? In the Abyss, you say?
Yeah.
Seems an odd place for a holy relic to reside."
From the information that I received from Torm, of which he granted me in a vision, it appears that whoever last bore it potentially fell in battle in the abyss. Sir Rylan was next to me when I received this vision. We defeated a Gorastro in Elturel, and I received a vision.
We'll give a nod to the group.
I received a vision there from Torm, and I saw a grand necropolis surrounded by a light of with the light of lava, and I saw the horned skull of a ram, which, after doing further research, we realised was the 113th layer of the abyss of the demon lord Orcus. So
A few chills go around the table as you mention Orcus's name.
So we have to. That is our final destination, and then upon our success in the abyss, we are then ready to defeat the Shadow King. So, as you are aware, a few weeks ago, the Shadow King desecrated all of our most hallowed burial grounds. All the corpses of our loved ones and those who come before us have been gathered to him as a vast force of undeath, and we must be prepared for this inevitable onslaught. So in that case, I tell you, you ready your forces in your kingdoms and your lordships, you gather what paladins and clerics you can find, you strengthen your people, and you call upon the gods. You need to be able to watch on the cemeteries to prevent any more incursions, defend your loved ones, and you need to make sure that your people are aware that this fight requires every ounce of courage and belief that they can muster. Because in this, no matter what happens, we have to ensure, as the lords and ladies and rulers of this coastline, that the people we rule over and serve deserve to live in peace, and it is our duty and our privilege to grant them this. So what we must do is strive to defeat this evil and show him that his darkness cannot prevail over life and light. So, he is unlike something that we have ever faced before. He will not show anyone any mercy, and he will attempt to terrorize us and our people. But we must not falter in the face of this terror, and we will not fall to them, and we will prevail against him. Because we have preparation, we are aware, and we have the ability to put him down for good. Each and every one of us around the table, and I'll look around at everyone, individually, will be defined by our actions in the coming battle. There are only 3 things that we need to do now. We need to stand fast, we stand strong, and we stand together. And I'll bow my head and take a step back.
Grand Duke Order Ravengard will stand up and say, "Well spoken, Tristan. For those of you who may not know, Tristan and his party here saved my life when I was in Elturel. and for that you will have my gratitude and my thanks. As for what I propose, well, first we need to figure out where all these undead have gathered. They can't just have disappeared off the face of the earth. They must be somewhere. Where is the Shadow King residing? Where is his army? If we know where he will strike, we can prepare our forces there. I assume we all have varying degrees of armies ready to face off against the Shadow King. Should we gather our forces in one place? Or perhaps at least some of them? Try and have a standing army united against this front?
Well, I don't think we know where he's going to strike, so
All we
putting
know,
all our eggs in one basket is probably not the best solution.
our best.
Given his previous methods, it seems likely that he'll attack more than one place at once. He has the numbers to do it, so he'll know dividing our forces is the best option for him.
This is a chance for us to potentially review our means of transportation between our various different settlements in order to quickly react to any attacks. For example, it'd be a lot easier for my forces from Neverwinter to make it to Longsaddle if we could secure a path through the river and the forest between our two settlements. It may be best that what we could potentially do is look at different nearest settlements we can combine into more of a mobile strike force of cavalry and other various fast-moving units in order to respond to threats across the Sword Coast.
Lord Dorner will speak up and say, Amphail can only provide a measly 600 troops towards this endeavour, though much of that will be cavalry, and the finest cavalry you'll find anywhere on the Sword Coast.
Could also have like people in like various important locations who possess the sending spell, and then have like one center which they can communicate with, where there's like an elite force or something. So if someone on the level of a Death Knight appears, they can contact the central HQ, and then the elite force could teleport directly there.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Lyra will speak up and say, yes, a good idea, Dela. I believe Waterdeep should be that central hub. It's where we've all gathered today, and it's where I believe the largest amount of troops reside. Waterdeep itself can provide 8,000 troops towards this fight. And we have the Griffin Riders as well, who can move quite quickly. Not as fast as teleportation, perhaps, but still swift at need.
I'm trying to remember how many troops I've got left.
700.
Yeah.
It's like 500 child troops.
Yeah. we're like, Neverwinter is still recovering from the recent conflict and raiding of its treasury by the Blue Dragon, so we can only provide 700. However, we do have some cavalry, and of course the Blades of Drrust will be attempting to hunt down the Shadow King where we can find him.
Lord Agratham will speak up and say, we too in Mirabar have suffered to these lizard folk raids. However, we can still provide around 3,000 troops. High Mage Tan Hornblade will say, Silvery Moon can provide 2,500 troops, including a lot of wizards, who, as you all know, are the equal of many tens of men on a battlefield, if not hundreds. Grand Duke Order Ravengard will say, we can provide 5,000 troops, including heavy infantry. Morwen will say, Daggerford suffered quite heavily when we were attacked by these Death Knights. We only have about 1,000 troops left, though our rangers are particularly skilled at perhaps scouting out and hunting this threat to learn where he might strike. Lord Dowell will say, we too have suffered, and thus we only have about 500 troops. I must say as well, I haven't spoken to you before, King Tristan, but thank you very much for your aid. Though it wasn't perhaps necessary, the raid sort of eased off once your troops arrived. It was, we are grateful nonetheless. I'll give you a nod.
I'll nod my head back.
Mm-hmm. Queen Dagnabit will say, Mithril Hall can provide 3,500 troops. We also have the sky ships, which could be able to transport armies around quite quickly. We only have a handful of these ships, admittedly, but still, it's better than none.
And we don't have to worry about the orcs currently, do we?
No, the winter snows have come in. They'll keep back the orcs.
Okay, good. Perhaps it is worth us dividing the theatre into two then, for us northern settlements and the southern settlements. The Sword Coast is rather large then, and a few of our smaller settlements are in the north. Would be better off if we combined our forces.
All the Raven Guard will say, where should we draw the line? And
Well,
there are far more settlements
I'll
towards
do
the
it.
north than there are towards the south.
I'll draw
I
the
can,
line.
I can say I can drag you to the actual big map so you can have a proper look
Yeah.
at things. Don't draw a line yet.
So let's have a look. So, okay,
Yeah, it might be good to like circle all the different places
yeah, I'm doing it now.
in a color or something. I don't know.
So we've got Daggerford, Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Luskan. Where's Silvery Moon? There. Rifflefall.
Amphail's down here. You have Yotar is here. You have Long Saddle's there.
Yarta, Longsaddle. Where's Amphail, sorry? There.
Just north of Waterdeep. Yeah.
Then we've got Elturel's down here. Baldur's Gate.
Got Elturel, Baldur's Gate, and that's pretty much it down in the south.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there actually needs to be a split. Honestly, looking at the south, like
Yeah, honestly, I completely forgot that Daggerford was that far north.
Oh, does that mean no line?
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you were to split it, like have Amphail, Waterdeep, and Daggerford considered in the south.
That's what I was thinking of doing, like south of the Sword Mountains sort of thing. Like Amphail's like the northmost thing there. Put those 5 together, and then have the north 7. Yeah, the north 7, and then you've got the southern 5, right?
Yep.
So that could work.
Daramis Tanner will speak up at this point and say, I actually have a bit of a theory, though I'll see what the rest of you think. As some of you may know, I was present in Baldur's Gate during the massacre on New Year's when the Death Knights showed up. We lost many good adventurers that day, but I myself slew 3 of these Death Knights. After that, I began researching this Shadow King. His name is Larlock, and in all of my research, I learned that he was holed up in a place called Larlock's Crypt. However, whenever I poured through the maps and tried to find this Larlock's Crypt, there was never any mention of it. However, there is a Warlock's Crypt. My theory is that perhaps the name of Larlock, which sounds similar to Warlock, may have changed over time. Maybe Warlock was just a nickname for him or something. I'm not. Again, this is just my theory, but that could be a potential holdout of his.
whereabouts is that?
I've marked it. It's in Trollbark Forest.
Yeah, so it's in between the north and south.
See, when we were in the Lurkwood as well, we found the tower of the Death Knights, you see, hidden deep in the Lurkwood.
Did you find anything interesting there? Anything we might need to know?
I think Reed's got the names written down.
We can just speak up and say, yeah, I've got their names. So they're led by Samuela. There's also Antono, Thoros, Ianwyn, Urcus, and Larian. These are like the 6 members of this Shadow Order, whatever you call it. Also, like, if we learn that if people get killed by them, then they can't be brought back. Daramis will say, yes, we learned that the hard way.
So we have.
Yeah, I don't think there was any much information else there.
Lyra will speak up and say, well, these vestiges seem to be designed for killing the Shadow King. They must also work pretty well on his Death Knights. When the attacks do come, it would be well to have these vestiges where they are needed. Perhaps we could spread your forces and have vestiges ready at any potential location that might be attacked?
Aren't we going to go after the Shadow King?
Well, how would you go about doing that?
Well, we
We
have
need to travel to
to his pocket
his
dimension.
Pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
Destroy his phylactery.
that will destroy his phylactery if it's even in there. But after that, I mean, there will still be attacks.
I guess then we could investigate that Warlock's crypt. Seems like a good idea.
Yep, that seems like a good place to start.
Do we know of any other vestiges that may exist on the coast besides the ones you are currently hunting?
None that we're aware of, unfortunately. I'm sure there are others. It might be worth putting out.
Reed will speak up and say, actually, yeah, we do know of one other person. There's a cleric in Silvermoon called Marion. She's got one of these vestiges.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
Oh, yes, of course, Marion. Yes.
Yeah, and that was very effective against the Death Knights, actually.
Daramis will speak up and say, he'll pull out his spear, which is just like a long silver spear, and say, this here is a vestige. Windvane is its name. And it has proven quite deadly. I'm happy to lead any force from Baldur's Gate. And he'll give a nod to the Grand Duke.
I, of course, will lead my own forces from Neverwinter. It will be the issue. What we must do, though, is we need to find where he is, because the likelihood is that his undead horde will attack across the coast, like he's done before, right? I think we can.
Most probably.
I don't think he is.
If he's raised the dead, he'll have basically an endless number. So he's not going to focus them all in one place.
But where do you hide that many undead?
Jarlaxle will speak up and say, well, he was able to teleport all these people before. Who's to say he can't teleport them again to anywhere he might wish for them to be? If they vanished from under our noses, they could appear under our noses just as easily, is my theory, at the very least.
Yeah.
And this is the issue of
Maybe checking the Warlock's crypt. Maybe while we're searching for the other vestiges, you could send a scout or someone, a scouting party to see if there's any suspicious activity around there.
Does anyone know where the Swift Swords are at this point?
Lyra will speak up and say, I believe they are somewhere up in the north when the last I spoke with them. They reside in Silvery Moon. She'll have a look over at High Mage 10. We'll say, yes, I think they're one of the orders we have up in Silvery Moon. I've only spoken to them briefly once. Do they have vestiges?
They don't, but they are perfectly capable adventurers for a scouting party. Perhaps I look over at the Air Genasi guy. I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah,
perhaps you could accompany them into this crypt.
You don't have to actually go into the crypt. I think you just need to see if there's any suspicious activity around there. Because that should be enough.
I would happily go as a scout, but venturing into this crypt, I've seen what these Death Knights can do. We lost over 30 adventurers during the massacre in Baldur's Gate. I will not be willing to go into peril without every single member of my company being equipped with one of these vestiges or something more powerful than what we had in Baldur's Gate. These Death Knights are a lethal force. And
yes.
like you say, once someone is slain by them, they cannot be brought back. So I will not risk lives needlessly.
No. Just scout the area, see if you can find anything. See if your theory is correct, because it's somewhere where we need to start. Because
go along with someone who can teleport, so like Barry or something. So if something does go wrong, immediately leave.
If there's an undead army, though, right? Surely they must be corrupting their environment significantly. Like an undead army's got to be pretty corruptive. Maybe like the druids, they're really in touch with nature. Maybe they're aware of some disturbances or something. Especially if this Warlock's crypt is potentially placed as it is in the midst of a forest.
The Swift Swords have a druid, right?
No,
they do not.
Cleric.
Okay.
But Daramis will say, I know a few people with teleportation spells, and I'm sure we can find some druids that are knowledgeable about the area. Yes, these are all things that I can look into while you're busy doing your vestige things. Leave it to me.
That sounds like a plan to me. I think for now what we do then is we hold our forces in our own cities to start with, but we just have to make sure that we're fortifying. And we're just keeping an eye out
Lady Morgan will speak up and say, if this Warlock's Crypt is the place that he's stationed at, it would seem likely that Daggerford would be his first target. Do we have a means of fast transportation to defend my settlement? I'll not have it. We only have 1,000 troops, you see. If it is attacked by his forces, we won't hold out.
Perhaps Waterdeep could provide some troops to bolster your garrison?
Yes, Waterdeep can send a few thousand men if that would please you, Lady Morwen. She would just give a nod, say, I suppose it'll do. The Grand Duke will say, if he decides to strike south, Baldur's Gate would be the target. But he'll find Baldur's Gate a difficult place to attack. We have about 5,000 troops ourselves. He would turn to Sir Ryland and say, maybe more, with your aid, with the aid of Elturel. Sir Ryland will respond and say, I have spoken with the Lords of Elturel, and we can provide 4,000 troops towards this effort, for we do not wish to leave our borders wholly undefended. But we can have them at the ready, and send them down the Chiantar if an attack comes. And the Grand Duke will just sort of give a nod and say, aye, that will suffice.
So actually, the Bitter Brothers used that scrying tool.
Mhm.
Was that confiscated then, since we didn't pick it up?
You don't know? I mean, you say this to the table, and Lara would say, I'm not sure what became of it. There are a few different tools that allow for scrying. I'm sure many of our mages have the ability to scry. All of our cities should be able to do this.
But since our party's met with, has met their Death Knights at their castle, and I doubt it'd work on the Shadow King himself, but we could try scrying on them. Maybe we can find out something about where they are.
The Blackstaff, who is seated here, will say, I will go and see if I have a scrying orb. I do not believe I do at the moment, but it's worth a look. And she will get up and leave.
Okay. So
would it work? Does scrying work on dead bodies as well? Because if we could scry on some of the bodies who went missing.
Lara will say, I believe it only works on the living, not the dead.
In that case, would it work on Death Knights? Because aren't they kind of dead?
Well, it's worth a try, I suppose. Only one way to find out. I've not personally tried to scry on undead myself. Lord Taryn Hornblade of Silver Moon will speak up and say, I believe, depending on the level of undeath, it can be achieved, but I wouldn't hold out hope. This, if the Shadow King's magic lies upon these Death Knights, they probably have some sort of wards or protections that would prevent scrying, in my personal opinion.
Alright.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Another thing as well, I don't know, but obviously I'm coming from a bit of a biased perspective, but paladins are one of your best defenses against undeath here.
Yes. Lord Agathan will speak up and say, any sort of holy warriors should be good. Any form of radiant damage will smite these beasts from the earth.
It's worth gathering the clerics and paladins of your various temples across the Sword Coast and potentially gathering them into strike forces as well.
Sir Ryland will speak up and say, the Order of the Golden Lion is one of the chief orders of paladins here on the coast, and while we have many of our warriors out on various missions and quests, we have some that could be provided at need. Perhaps we could send one paladin to each of your settlements, though I would have to check with the Lords of Elturel, of course, before I can confirm this. But would that be sufficient? There's a few sort of nods around the table.
We've already got Sir Alistair and Neverwinter, so you don't need to worry about us.
Yes, you also have yourself.
And myself, yes. But whilst I'm not there, he's got the position. But so far, it's just the matter of this mass transportation of undead without so much a sound is bizarre to me. I don't know if there's anything that Sylvie Moon has heard of before within your learned halls.
Lord Tam will speak up and say, I'm afraid not. We have done extensive research into this, but this seems like a new device of the Shadow King's magic. It is nothing we have ever seen before, I'm afraid.
Did the dead bodies disappear from, like, every graveyard or just places where he attacked?
Yes, our theory is that these Death Knights are perhaps the catalyst for why the bodies would disappear. Any battle in which Death Knights were present, the bodies have disappeared. Jarlaxle will actually speak up then and say, well, there was a battle between the forces of Luskan and the forces of Neverwinter that occurred. No Death Knight appeared during that battle, and yet when we searched the ground, all of the bodies had disappeared. And Daramus will just say, that doesn't mean a Death Knight wasn't present. It just means he didn't show himself.
Complicated.
Might be potentially worth us trying to figure out a way to permanently put the Death Knights down as well.
Yeah, Daramus will speak and say, yes, I believe if one of these fights does... If we get into a battle with the Shadow King's forces, our first priority should be killing the Death Knights, because once the Death Knights are dead, my theory at least, is that would prevent any further deaths from being under his manipulation.
Yeah.
I imagine the forces would even retreat, as they have, I believe, in many of these battles across the coast. Once the Death Knight was slain, the enemy forces fled. Is that correct? Like, there's a few nods around the table, and you guys would know from Mithril Hall as soon as Samular died.
Or Harrow down,
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I do also wonder if he's manipulating death in this way, are any priests of the, does anyone have any temples of, death, shit.
God of Death.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because there's, like, there's, like, like Hades, basically. Like, he's meant to shepherd the souls, right, to the afterlife.
Well, so, obviously, the Shepherd of the Souls would be more of a demon thing in this world, because that'd be, like, in the Hells. Or, at the very least, the River Styx is, like, the river between the Nine Hells and the Abyss.
Right.
Lord Agtham will say, what's your purpose towards speaking of this God of Death?
Well, the God of Death is Kalemivor, right? So, and he despises the undead, but because he's massively opposed to necromancers. So everything that the Shadow King is doing is working against his purpose. So if anyone knows of any clerics or a temple to him, it might be potentially we can get some clerics to, like, commune with him and see if anything has been disturbed in his realm, because that's where, that's what will be affected the most as well, because the mortal plane will be defected, but the gods will also be affected by this.
Lyra will speak up and say, as someone who has been to see her, I visited the Raven Queen, the goddess of death. She is at odds with Larlock and his business. As you know, she helped Elia through her troubles, and I could perhaps speak with her, see what she says upon the matter.
Yes, because any of the domains of any of the gods or goddesses of death, or anything related to death, will be being affected by this, surely. And it directly impacts their spheres of influence. So,
yes. Is there anything you would like me to specifically ask the Raven Queen in my journey?
To see if there's, like, obviously I'm not a cleric, and I follow Torm rather than a god of death. So, but I do wonder if they have the power to sort of not detect large masses of undead, but sort of, like, if there's any, like, impact of Larlock's magic that's being left in their realms. Do you know? I'm kind of like, so there could be, like, a trace that we could follow potentially.
I can have a look. Daramus will speak up and say, in my research on Larlock, I heard that he once tried to overthrow Mystra, the goddess of magic. There was some sort of eruption in Candlekeep, and I believe he failed, but he may try again. Who knows? Before, he seemed to have a reverence towards Mystra, and respected her greatly, and then all of a sudden he tried to overthrow her. My research doesn't indicate why he tried to do this, but that may be something we could look into as well. His relationship to Mystra, the goddess of magic.
Yes. That would be
Yeah,
it.
we could ask someone at Candlekeep then.
Yeah.
So that's because that's
They're
like,
the-
particularly, you know, utilizing our ability to commune with the gods here might be a good step forward as well.
So Lyra will speak up and say, so, just to run down what we have decided upon. Daramis, you will join up with the Swift Swords and perhaps some other adventurers and scout out this Warlock's Crypt, see what you can find. I will send some forces down to bolster Daggerford. Elturel will send some forces to bolster Baldur's Gate, and the Order of the Golden Lion will send paladins to, well, wherever it can, I suppose. Is there anything else we wish to do to prepare for the attack?
Are there any nice monk orders that you could maybe ask for help?
We actually have an order of monks atop Mount Waterdeep. They could be of assistance, and I'm sure they will be if the city is attacked. But as a monk yourself, I'm sure you'll know monks have their own business and don't often involve themselves in the affairs of, well, politics and all of this stuff.
There is a certain sect of monks who also despise necromancy.
Oh?
A somewhat controversial sect of monks.
Long-suffering
I
sigh
don't know where this is going.
from Tristan.
Who are these monks, and where might they be found, and why would they help us?
Well, I'm not too sure where you might find them. They tend to be quite secretive, but the Way of the Long Death monks also despise necromancy. And if you can find any, then they would be a powerful ally.
Water Baron Nestor will speak and say, I've heard of these Way of the Long Death monks. They're not supposed to be a particularly nice bunch.
That's one way of putting it.
True.
I'm sure they'd want something in return.
Possibly. But I think the
Speed
Shadow King
potions.
is probably yeah, famously renowned for their love of speed potions.
Addiction.
But
Lord Agathon will speak up actually and say, I've heard of these this order as well. They're an abomination. They should not be trusted.
well, just a thought.
Yeah, I think other than the other things, just that thing that we said earlier about having a HQ and then making sure someone's got sending in like all the major places that could be attacked.
Yes, potentially it's worth stationing a mage in each of the settlements as well with sending, so we can communicate with someone in Waterdeep.
I mean, I literally just said that.
Yeah.
Lyra will speak up and say, yes, there are mages. There will be mages in all of our settlements already who have the ability to cast sending spells. We usually communicate via these means. Yes, that should be very doable. Anything else we might need?
I think that'll be it for now.
You need to get all your potion makers to
Oh, for goodness sake.
start churning out potions as fast as possible.
We have been doing so, and like a few of the other lords will agree. But
For some reason, some people keep turning up and buying all our potions.
well, potions take time and resources to make, and the people of the cities and various adventuring companies and anyone with the gold to buy them can purchase them, of course.
Then perhaps you should maybe look at putting some restrictions on who can buy potions and requisitioning resources, etc.
I feel like you're coming from a bit
Well-
of a thing of greed here, Sang, to be honest with you.
Well, as much as we may need potions to battle the Shadow King, the people of this country also need potions to survive and to fight in their own way.
Yeah, but they won't be alive if the Shadow King wins.
Well, they won't be alive without those potions either.
I think we're doing okay with potions at the moment, Sang. I think you can... We'll carry on as we are.
Yeah, maybe well, sort of in a similar vein, producing things like radiant bolts and stuff like that. That would probably make things a lot easier.
This is a good idea. I agree with Dela. We should focus on creating any radiant related items that we can. Swords, bolts, whatever it might be. Radiant damage is, of course, the key to defeating the undead. There'll be a few more nods around the table.
Holy water as well will help.
Mhm.
You know, like just a basic steel weapon doused in holy water will do enough damage against the undead as well. So
Yeah, there are a few more nods. I guess for the sake of brevity, is there anything else people would like to discuss at this council?
no, I think that's more or
Yeah,
less
'cause
everything.
I think we've got most of it out. So we'll say you spend like the next sort of hour just like hashing out a few details of who specifically is going to be messaging who and how many specific troops are going from here to here, and just all the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boring stuff.
But eventually the council will come to an end, and everyone will sort of say their goodbyes. Lord Dowell will come up to you at the very end, Tristan, and just say and shake your hand and say, "Thank you again for sending your troops to Longsaddle. While they may not have been needed, you have Longsaddle's friendship." He'll give you like a little nod.
No, I appreciate that. We are basically neighbours and the closest to each other, despite the. It might be worth us discussing a few things in the future about a passage through Neverwinter Wood to cut out travel
Yes.
times.
Perhaps when all of this is over, we can work on that.
Yes, I'd be happy to. It'd be good to extend the friendship between our two settlements for the future.
Okay, give a nod and wander off. Grand Duke Alder Ravengard will come up to you and say, "A pleasure as always, Tristan." Give you a shake your hand.
You're as well, Aldar. Good to see you in good health.
Yes, I believe. While Neverwinter may not be the strongest member of the Lord's Alliance, I believe your wisdom will be a catalyst for whether we succeed in this venture or not.
I appreciate the confidence, and you have my honor that we will succeed in this, no matter the cost. Even if I have to take the plunge myself, it will be done, and we'll make sure that this coastline is secure. For
Yes.
everyone living in it.
I'll see you on the battlefield.
Indeed.
He'll wander off. Jarlax will wander up to you and say, "Blades, good to see you as always."
Jarl Axel, how is my neighbour?
Yes, not too bad. As you'll notice, I was fairly quiet during that whole conversation. I just wanted to hear what you all had to say, really. But Luskin will do what it can to provide assistance and aid. As you know, we keep our word.
You do? You should have received your, you're happy with your payment from Hundar?
Oh yes, very happy. As are the rest of the barons.
Oh, excellent. Then maybe in the
Good day.
future we can have a little chat after this is all over about our two cities and our relationship in the future, yes?
Yes, of course.
Excellent.
Nice
you-
eye patch, by the way.
Oh yes, didn't you notice before?
No, it kind of totally slipped by. Have you upgraded it?
I've bejazzled it a little bit.
It shows.
He will just wander off laughing to himself. Duchess Morwen will wander up to you and say, Blades of Drrust. I believe you're the company that Reed is involved with. And you have a quick look around and Reed is nowhere to be seen.
Yes, I was wondering why he scampered off.
There's this
Yes.
person again.
Has he mentioned me before?
Once or twice in passing.
I don't remember him mentioning you at all.
He
To be
has.
honest.
That's because he's not. This
He-
was before you.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
So-
He wouldn't have mentioned you to Sank. So yeah,
Yeah.
Morwen will say, "Well, all I wanted to say to him was that I don't hold any hard feelings towards him for all our history, shall we say. Chrissy and I get along fine now, and she has more than paid off whatever debt he may have had towards me. Just let him know whenever you next see him."
I'll pass on the message to the slippery bugger for you.
And she heads off. The last to come and actually, maybe not the last. Sir Rylan will come up to you and say, "Tristan," and he'll like bring you in for a big hug.
Oh, Sir
Roar.
Rylan. Good to see you again.
"How's my former member?"
Not doing too badly. I do, I still feel a little bit awkward about that. I can scratch the back of my head awkwardly.
Yeah. He'll just sort of wave a paw and be like, "Don't worry about it. I understand that the needs of your city came before the needs of my order. As the leader of the Order of the Golden Lion, I've seen many members come and go, and I believe that your purpose outweighs the needs of my order.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, but not to worry. Alistair has been kicking my ass quite a bit, shall we say.
Yes, I imagine he would. Well, it was him who picked you out, I believe, to begin with.
Yes, after
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm glad there's no hard feelings.
Certainly not between us. There are a few other members of my order who hold their oaths a little more seriously and who are a little more aggrieved. But I myself, I like to see the bigger picture, as you well know.
Yes, and, Alistair will hopefully get the order up and running in Neverwinter. Come what may.
Yes. Hopefully. Well, I look forward to seeing you whenever all this Shadow King business comes to a head.
Yes, take care
I'm
of
sure
yourself.
your blade will be needed.
Take care of
good
yourself,
luck finding the sword.
Yes, well, that one's gonna be zombie with
Yes,
me.
I wish I could send aid, but as I say, I already have many of my members spread across the coast on various quests, and the rest I'll be sending to bolster the defenses of all these cities. So I can't really spare anyone.
It's okay. We should be able to handle it, I hope. But it'll be an interesting one.
It'll be fine.
Good. Yes. Well, just know that yes, the Abyss is one of the most unhospitable places anyone could ever possibly visit across any of the planes. At least that's what I gather from it. So don't lead your company into death. We need you here.
Don't worry, I've done that once. I have no intention of doing it again.
Good.
Yeah, you better not.
Yeah. He'll give you like a warrior's grip,
Yeah.
and then head off. And lastly, Daramis will come up to you, say, "So, which of your company have slain Death Knights in the past?"
Me.
Sang has as well.
Sang and
Which one did I kill?
You killed Forrest, I believe,
and who killed
and
the
Paige
other one?
killed Paige killed Antonin.
Yeah. I faced down Samular at the Battle of Harrowdown.
He is the one with red eyes.
Yeah, the leader of the bunch. Yeah.
Yes, I too have slain Samular. I also slew, I believe his name was Urcus, and the other one Larian, the one with blue eyes and the one with purple eyes.
We put down the other two.
Antonin and Forrest.
Yeah, that's the one. We put down those two as well.
I killed one of them, apparently. I definitely remember doing that.
Sang kills a lot of people.
It was so memorable to me that I definitely remember that.
Yes. Well, I'll scout out this Warlock's crypt for you, see what I can find. If it does turn out to be the location, I assume I can count on your assistance in attacking it.
Oh, of course, yes. At the moment, we will currently be around the grandfather tree. That's where we're entering all of the various different planes to gather these vestiges. So if you send a message there, then it will reach us.
May be difficult for me to send a message to you. Do you have a place here in Waterdeep?
We have the Troll School Tavern, or alternatively, just Neverwinter. Either one of those two works.
Okay, I'll message probably one of those, and if I need to get in contact with you, yes.
Yes, my regent back in Neverwinter will be able to pass the message on to me. So
good. Hopefully, with your aid, I can avenge my fallen companions and put an end to all this business.
Agreed. That bastard stole the corpse of my father, so I have a bit of a personal take on this as well.
Yes, he thinks back in his mind. Yes, I do remember seeing the Death Knight with, I believe it was Yellow Eyes, Ianwick, who fought at Borskaya Bridge.
Yes.
Was it this Death Knight personally who slew your father?
Oh, it must have been. I wasn't aware. I wasn't there at the time, but
yeah, you do know actually from speaking with the halfling who was there, Flynn, I believe his name was. He and your father fought the Death Knight personally, and your father was slain by the Death Knight.
Yes. So if you do leave that one to me. Yes.
Very well. We will head off then, and leave you guys to it.
Oh,
Lyra will come up to you and say, "Well spoken, Tristan. I believe we achieved much today."
Yes, rather less bickering than I was expecting, to be honest with you.
Well, there's not much bickering to be had when it comes to this sort of thing. Everyone's livelihoods are at stake. No city is safe from the Shadow King.
No, it's true.
We all have a common purpose and a common enemy.
It's nice to see for once, to be honest with you. But yes, I think
you'll all go back to murdering each other once this is over. I'm sure.
Oh, we don't murder each other here. We're all civilized. Come on.
Well, that's the whole point of the Lord's Alliance, is to settle all our disputes with our words, not with our blades. Of course, it doesn't always happen that way, but we try.
Yes.
Anyway, good luck with your next venture. Is it the Abyss you're going to, or are you going to join your companion Ulfgar?
Well, we can't help Ulfgar because he's engaged in this tournament of champions, so he has to do it in a 1v1, but we will go and see where he is. We'll probably go and pick up Marion from Silvery Moon as well, because I want everyone on board to deal with the Abyss, because I feel like it's going to be a rough one. So
yes. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you, Lyra. We'll keep you appraised of what's going on.
Yes, if you need my assistance, just let me know.
Okay.
She'll head off. And it's
That's just us.
Just the five of you.
Right, Reed, you're safe. Daggerford forgives you, so you can stop worrying now. Come out.
You see, Reed turns uninvisible.
So
what's the plan then?
I think we pick up Marion from Silvery Moon and we head off the Eastguard to see how Ulfgar's doing.
Yeah, we can cheer him on. We can be his cheerleaders.
Sounds good.
Did Ulfgar say how close he was when,
Yes, but I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, so Reed will say, he said to me that he was a couple of days away from fighting someone, and then after that fight he was going to be able to fight the main guy, who's got this hammer that he needs to win. So I guess if we head over there now, maybe spend a few days in Nilfgaard, he should be ready by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
So we want to go pick up Marion first, or should we pick up Marion after Nilfgaard?
Pick her up first, because then she can join the cheerleading squad for Ulfgar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's really what's going to inspire him to win. Like Sir Ryland said, friendship.
Marion will definitely be the inspiration. Someone he's never met before.
Has he not?
The power of friendship.
No, because
in anime it doesn't matter.
You guys picked up Marion in the Lurkwood. She helped you in the Battle of Neverwinter, and then with Hundar, and then she went off to Silver Moon. So Ulfgar wasn't there for any of that.
All right. I forgot at which
he
point
was
he left.
kind of there in Neverwinter, right? Because he came up with the airship.
That was before.
That was with the dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just before the Lurkwood actually, because you went from after Neverwinter to the Lurkwood.
Of course, yeah, that was the dragon.
So I guess teleport to Silver Moon.
Yeah.
Rogar's already used 2 spell slots today, so we're going to get Barry.
Yeah, we need to get Barry.
Come on, Bazza.
We'll say Barry teleports you easily enough to Silver Moon, and from there you can find Marion. I can't remember what the name of the temple was she was staying at, but it's basically the Temple of Helm that is situated there. So yes, you go to Silver Moon, find Marion in the temple. She's just sort of leading a prayer session with a few of the younger priests and priestesses. I'll give you a nod as she sees you wander over. Tristan, Blades, what can I do for you?
Marion, we're on our hunt for the last couple of vestiges. We were hoping you'd be able to accompany us. We could use your skills as a healer and your vestige in the Abyss.
Well, I did say to you before that my summoning that planetar was quite costly. I am needed here in service, I'm afraid. But I said I would join you once. I was planning on joining you in this pocket dimension place, but if you need me now instead to join you in the Abyss, then I could join you now. But that would be instead of joining you in this pocket dimension. My place. I am needed here.
I'd say the pocket dimension is probably more.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
more of a serious
in the
thing.
Abyss,
So,
yeah.
Well, the issue is I kind of look around and lower my voice. Is we're going into Orcus's realm, you see, and any support would be welcome. And I mean, our two gods are closely intertwined, and I'm sure, or we could pay off a bit of your debt as well. I have, if need be.
It is not just a payment of gold, although I have paid that. It also it is a payment of service. And would you be willing to serve in the Temple of Home for months? I believe as a king you may be a little too busy for that.
I can't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
what about if Reed did it?
would
your service wouldn't be of any use, I'm afraid.
No, not me. Reed.
would the well, ultimately, Orcus stands opposed to both of our gods, and it's in aid of delivering the Sword Coast from the Shadow King. Would that not service provide, enough, or does it specifically have to be in the temple?
The payment Helm requires of me is to serve in the temple for a certain amount of time, but I do believe that you're right in that this matter takes precedence. I'm sure once you have all your vestiges, you'll do fine without me in the pocket dimension. So I will join you for the Abyss. Are we ready to head there now?
We have
Not
one.
quite,
We have one more companion of ours who we need to gather. He's in Yozgard at the moment, getting another vestige. Because once we get him, we're fully equipped, therefore, to venture into the Abyss. I know you. The only reason I ask is because I am concerned. Orcus is, the Shadow King is one thing, but Orcus is a whole other level, and I don't think he'd easily let a trophy such as the Holy Avenger slip through his grasp.
No, I agree. I will join you when you're ready. But for now, I don't think you'll need me for for this year's guard place. No. Fetch me when your last companion has been secured, and the vestige, of course.
Yes. I just wanted to.
You could be a useful cheerleader for Ulfgar.
It's fine.
He loves cheerleading.
I am not really much of a cheerleader. I'm more of a basher of heads. And
yeah, he'll like that too.
Yeah, it's okay. Marion, we'll meet you. We'll come and fetch you once we're ready to enter the Abyss.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, she'll just head back to her prayer, and Barry will say, "So, you want me to take you guys to this grandfather tree place?"
Yes, please,
yes,
Barry.
please, Barry.
So, Barry will teleport you to the grandfather tree, for the sake of brevity. You'll meet up with Lymphalis. So, yeah, you guys arrive in Yozgard. You've only really just been here briefly once before. You just know you're in this weird sort of settlement place. Yeah, the land is yours. What do you want to do?
Wait, when did we go here before?
We popped in to message
very
Ulfgar.
briefly. Yeah, you popped
yes,
in,
yes.
messaged Ulfgar, and then immediately left. So you've not spent any time here. You don't know anything about what's going on.
We're trying to find Ulfgar.
Go where?
I don't know. We'll go home.
Left.
Is there Weatherspoons?
Make a perception check.
Go on then.
There are plenty of taverns, loads of taverns, in fact, and you see, many a drunken person along the streets, but no Weatherspoons, unfortunately.
Ulfgar would be no Weatherspoons, to be fair.
Reed says, "I can message him, see what he says."
That's
So
probably
true.
a good idea. Yeah.
Reed will do his internal monologue message and respond saying, "Right, so according to Ulfgar, he's in this place called the Valiant Hall, which is across from us. We have to pass through the Howling Forest to get there. And to get there, we have to go to the Gates of the Moon. So let's just look for them first, I guess." He says
Is the
that
Howling Forest dangerous?
Yeah, so apparently we have to pass some sort of trial to be considered champions worthy of the Valiant Hall, and then once we get through there, we can go see him. He says it's easy though. He did it by himself pretty much, so we shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine.
So you pass through this place where you currently are, and eventually arrive at the Gates of the Moon, which are these big arched gates that seem to lead out into this vast pinewood forest before you. The guy on the door will wander over to you and say, company name?
The Blades of Drrust.
Blades of Drrust, and he'll do a little head count of you, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all good. You all familiar with the drill?
Nope.
New adventurers. Right. So,
we're brand new. We've never adventured before.
Well, if you've never adventured before, I'd recommend you leave immediately. But if you have the magical means of getting here, that means you've at least got some level of magical ability. Why are you here, if you don't mind me asking?
We are here to go and provide moral support to one of our comrades who's participating in the competition, basically.
Yeah, we're his cheerleading squad, basically.
He's one of the champions?
He is, yes.
He is.
Very well. Well, the way things work here in Yizgard, this is basically where champions come to prove their worth. And I'm sure your friend has told you all about all of that, so I won't bore you with the details. But only champions are allowed into the Valiant Hall. To prove yourself a champion, you must make your way through the Howling Forest. And he will gesture forwards towards that. Within the forest, you'll find other adventuring companies who are your foes. To be clear, don't worry about killing anything out there. Here in Yizgard, if you die, you just come back to life the next day. Yeah, feel free to kill away, and you can even kill yourselves if you want. It doesn't really matter.
That sounds great.
I mean, you'll still feel all of the pain. Don't get me wrong, but here in Yizgard, there is no such thing as permanent death. Yes, in order to be allowed into the Valiant Hall, you must arrive at the other side with at least 10 gemstones, and you will receive various different gemstones depending on the monsters that you kill or the adventurers that you kill.
Do the adventurers have like separate people, and then they have a big boss at the end of their little area?
There's not.
Give you a gemstone once you defeat them.
Basically, and he hands you each an amulet. He says, you can wear this around your neck or just keep it on your person. Either way. Basically, once you die, you will fade into nothingness and be replaced by gemstones if you are killed. And all of the different monsters that spawn here every day, they have the same enchantment upon them. And some of the monsters here, when you kill them, will provide you with various boons and buffs to your character, but they're only for a temporary amount of time, not permanently, of course. But yes, I would advise you make your way out into the forest, kill as many monsters as you can, and you need to make it to the other side without getting killed. Teleportation is
10 each,
banned here.
by the way.
You need to acquire 10 each. Yes, so you need
Okay.
So as long as you have 50 spread out across your group, by the time you reach the other side, they will allow you entry.
Okay.
Depending on the monster you kill, depends on how many points you get. Each adventurer is worth 10 points, so generally wiping out another party is what most companies tend to do, but they don't provide you with any buffs. Plus, you still need to make it to the other side without getting killed by the next adventuring party that comes along. So it's all a bit it's up to you how you want to deal with things, I suppose. But there are plenty of dragons out there to kill. I would say the dragons are the greatest thing you can kill. There are a few purple worms as well, though they are more difficult to track and hunt. You all seem very well equipped and
What if we kill each other?
capable.
Well,
Well,
it's a
you'll
day
be-
to revive.
Yes, also you'll respawn here, not out in the forest. Also, if you're going in as a company, your points don't count for one another.
Oh, okay.
And also, if you are killed, you would lose the 10 points you currently have, putting you essentially on -10 for the
Right,
next
got you.
time you wish to come back.
Thought
Right
I found
now
a
you're on a-
loophole there.
You're on a flat 0. You wouldn't all be able to make it through, but maybe one or two of you might. But what's the fun in that?
Quite a lot.
Well, if you want to kill your own company, by all means. you can make it through, while the rest of your company have to respawn here.
I'll think about it.
But yes, good luck to you. Enjoy the Howling Forest. Like I say, there's no permanent death here. Adventurers really come here to just sort of test their skills, prove their might against other adventuring companies, and hone their abilities. And he just sort of gestures for you to walk through the gates of the moon.
Right.
All right,
Let's go.
let's go.
You'll say it takes about 2 days to make it to the far side if you follow the road straight through. However, there are 2 other roads around either side, or you can just sort of make your way through the middle, through the forest itself. That'll take you probably more like 3 days. So
What?
the monsters themselves don't tend to venture out onto the roads. The roads are safe havens. There are also towers spread around throughout the forest, which are also considered quote-unquote safe havens. Other adventuring companies can always attack you there, but monsters won't venture there.
Is there a limit to the size of adventuring parties?
Yes, 5 is the maximum limit. So you guys are perfectly within that limit.
Excellent.
But there are also many adventurers you may come across who would just venture out here solo or in smaller groups.
Good to know. All right. Well, guess we'll be off. Oh, and you said we couldn't teleport. Is that right?
Yes, teleportation doesn't work here in the Howling Forest. You won't be able to teleport into the Valiant Hall either.
Okay.
But once you make it into the Valiant Hall, you'll be able to teleport between the two at your leisure.
Very well. All right. I guess we'll head off.
Tally-ho, let's go.
I say
You
we
make your
just
way out.
follow the path because
Yeah, I agree.
there's probably going to be adventurers waiting to ambush us, so we
Yeah,
can
let's
just kill
just
them.
kill them. Yeah. We need to waste our time hunting stupid creatures. I was hoping I'd just be able to like kill you guys, and then we'd have loads of points, and then we could just meet up again. But apparently, it doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, I think you wanted to kill us even without the revive system.
Huh? What?
Never mind.
Okay, you're just following the main path.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's a leisurely stroll. We have time.
Sure.
But I still want to keep an eye out, just in case.
Okay. I'll get one of you to roll me a d20.
Go on, do that.
Okay.
Four.
No, I didn't mean that. No, I think someone else.
No, four's fine. Also, you make it to the first sort of tower checkpoint without encountering any enemies.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Can we have a quick look in the tower and see if anyone's hiding in there?
Sure. How do you want to approach?
Stealthily while checking the traps?
Yep.
Go on, Dayla. You're up.
Well, you're the one who said it.
I know, but you're the one who can check the traps. Shall we all roll stealth?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, whoever's going forward needs to roll stealth.
Not me.
We'll just say it can be the two of you for now.
I mean, this is a safe zone anyway, so I'm not going to...
Safe zone from monsters, anyway.
Yeah, players can still attack us.
Oh, wait,
It's still,
so humans can still kill each other?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's still,
exactly,
it's still a PvP zone.
Oh.
The mob's aggro range doesn't come this far, you see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, this is League of Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. There's monsters in the jungle. There's
Howling
towers
Forest.
along the road.
So that's what the purple worm thing means. It's the barrack.
Yes, you're all champions.
The dragons.
Yeah.
My vote
But
to
going
surrender.
Yes, you can.
Can you what?
Vote to surrender. Rogar and Reed will hit yes.
No, I'm playing
Top
Leona.
noob.
Mid-diff,
Surrender vote.
mid-diff.
Yeah, early surrender vote wasn't unanimous. Yeah, you're all A-ramming it at this point. You're all just
Yeah.
going down mid.
So wait, hang on. Doesn't this am I not just a gender bent Leona at this point?
If you
To some
want.
extent, I guess. So yeah, you go to this first.
Do you want to be the top
Guess
laner?
I'd be Shaco because I can go invisible and I got knives.
Ooh,
Yep.
Are you going to jungle?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I
Roll
want.
A-ramming.
Sang is like Master Yi. something like that.
Read
Anyway,
is Yumi.
Readers Yumi.
So true though.
Who would Rogar
And-
be?
Yeah, who would Rogar be?
Probably
Shiva.
Kennen?
No, he'd be
Or-
Reese, the guy with the lightning bolts and the
Rise.
scrolls. Yeah, Rise. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
because
Oh,
it's lightning damage, isn't he?
He doesn't. It's not lightning. It's just like
Yeah, it's not lightning.
Magic.
It's just like magic. Yeah.
Oh
That's
well.
why I thought Ken, because he does like lightning things.
Yeah, but
but-
Kennen's like a melee character though. I know.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. Rogar's something.
no, he's ranged. Yeah, but he's a
Yeah,
Yordle.
he
so-
is. He's a mix. Yeah.
Combination.
Anyway,
By the way, you go into this tower. Just have a sneak around. It seems to be empty at this point. You see that there are chests in here, but opening them up, they have already been looted.
Okay, let's carry on then, I guess.
Carrying on down the road, make another D20 check for me, someone.
someone else go this time.
All right.
Tristan, you go this time.
Hey.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead-
I got
go ahead
four
and
and
roll
nothing bad.
me-
That was
Go ahead and roll me a D8.
Oh.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll me 2D8. Yes.
what is
Let's fucking
happening?
go.
Oh.
This should be good.
wow. Okay.
A 6 and an
roll.
8. Okay, go ahead and. Oh my god. Oh my god. Go ahead and roll me 2 more D8.
What is going on? I'm scared, guys. Okay.
It's alright, we can't die.
Holy
You can.
shit. Okay. So I'm gonna get this ready for next time because I haven't actually had fully time to get this ready. But now that I know what's happening, because there was a lot of different things that could have happened depending on what you rolled.
Right.
Basically, for every 8 you rolled, 2 things were gonna happen instead of 1, and you just rolled 2.
Wait, so that was bad?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you bastard! I got excited. I was like, oh, I'm doing really well. Fuck.
Wow.
No.
Why have you done it like this?
Well-
Wow. Now I never want to roll high. What have you done?
Fuck.
Yes, never roll high in D&D.
Well, at least we're gonna have an engaging next session, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll get it all ready for next session.
Shame I'm gonna miss it though.
Oh fuck yeah, you are.
He wants to play
Like-
me.
Well, yeah, who do you want to play you? It can't be
All
Adam.
Daylight
So...
to play me.
Okay, yeah.
Don't use all my potions.
Sell them all.
Sangha gives all potions to Dayla.
I'm gutted I'm gonna miss that. That sounds like it's gonna be great. Can you give us a sneak peek of what we're gonna be fighting?
What did you roll again? You rolled a 6 and a 3, basically. 6 and a 3. So yeah, I had various different adventuring companies that you could have come across, and you'll be fighting one of those, and that's what the D8 was for. But yeah, and potential monsters may show up, potential things.
The adventuring company is going to be based off of League characters.
No. What do you mean?
Oh god, which pre-made are we coming up against now? Oh fuck.
I'll tell you.
Timo.
I'll tell you this much:
No.
if they're all based off the different factions, so you'll be fighting against a faction of League.
I just want to say I banned Yone, so
You banned Yone.
I banned Timo.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Sean.
Timo.
Honestly, Sean. Too bad. Michael rolled a 3. Sorry, Adam rolled a 3.
Oh
So
no.
Oh my
Yone,
God.
Oh,
Yone
no.
won't be appearing. Timo will not be. I didn't have Timo on here.
I want to ban. Who's the annoying one with like the
I just
tentacle
realised the
things
music.
that they keep getting to?
Alawi?
Valkos?
Alawi's
Yeah.
not on here.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, yeah.
So yeah, you're against the Ionians, which includes Yone,
Oh no.
and
I
the
don't know any
Shreens.
League lore.
So
The
we're,
desert people.
we're against like Talia and
You'll
Zir.
find out.
oh no, no, the crocodile man, no.
Renekton.
Oh fuck.
Nasus. Oh my god.
Nasus, oh
Like,
shit.
Nasus is there. Yes! Oh, please be
Well,
Nasus. I forgot
Again,
about that.
these are teams of 5, so there'll be a top laner, a
Seraph.
jungler, a mid, a bot, and a support. So yeah.
Oh god.
Come on, Nasus.
Uh-oh.
I want Nasus to win.